Well, a good night at the track tonight. I was watching. I was talking to Jason and Lauren this morning as they were schooling and qualifying at Northfield, racing at Scioto, and then racing tonight at Mohawk. A lot of horses I was interested in today. Obviously, I was disappointed that Sweet on Pete made a break. The splints become a little pesky, I guess, on that filly. They're going to have to address that tomorrow morning. I will qualify her myself on Thursday at Northfield Park. I'm not really sure. I don't know what to tell you. She's qualified and schooled well. Her first break was that odd break at Miami Valley, but as I said, the track was hard that day. We come back with her after that. She made a break in the final, finishing up her mile. I think that was more, as I said, a little something bothering her on the end of the mile. Then we found that splint, and it made sense that it was likely to splint. Come back with a qualifier today, and she makes a break. So I was a little surprised, but I'll be able to answer a lot more questions when I sit behind her next Thursday. We'll get her qualified next Thursday. Schooler today was per lucky, 55 at Northfield. A lot of people asking why he wasn't in. We simply took his blood. His liver count was a little high and opted for a schooler rather than a race in the open trot. Remember, this horse isn't just going to race. He's going to race in the open trot his next start. So we opted for a qualifier and a start next week after we've had him on liver pills for the whole week. So that should work out better. We turned our attention to Scioto Downs. Very impressed. First off, happy with Purple Aura. Now, we've seen these fillies race here this year. And after watching 1-2 Skip a Few today, I'm absolutely positive they weren't ready to go. We thought they were. Maybe they need a little more bike work. And it's subjective to each horse, right? Baumhugger was fine. She trained down the same with these horses. But when push came to shove, 1-2 Skip a Few was not ready to go. Now, it was a little different. We had to train that filly down on the gallop, so it was hard to say, was she ready? Was she ready or was she not ready? I think it's pretty clear now that she's raced her way into shape and that she was not ready to go when I first qualified her with the hobbles on. Purple Aura, we knew she was a little bit behind everybody. She raced really, really well. Her first start, but got roughed up a little bit. Raced good today. That was a good mile today. Very, very happy with what I saw from both 1-2 Skip a Few, Purple Aura, and Tony Hall. He drove them both very, very good. 1-2 Skip a Few was super impressive. The other filly, again, still being 2 weeks behind, is playing catch-up, but she was good today. Purple Aura, you'll probably see a much, much better mile out of her next week. And 1-2 Skip a Few proved today that she is now ready to go. Then we went over to Mohawk. Watched Laugh Now, made a break leaving. James said he couldn't really put his finger on why he run. Just kind of rolled off leaving. I kind of put him under the gun. He hasn't answered me yet. I said, hey, if he can't do there, I'll race him at Flamborough or London. Just let me know. There'll be no more wasted starts for this horse. I suspect we'll probably sneak over to Flamborough or London with him his next start. I don't really know what he was doing leaving the gate. He put a step in schooling the other day, but I was a little surprised to see him make the break leaving the gate. The rail's a tough place to get away from. So if you're going to do it, it's going to be from there. But still a little surprised that he did it. And then, man, oh man, we were in for a treat with 2 horses left on the card. Went over to Flamborough, watched Bolt Power win in 53 and 4 on a half-mile track. He's a half-mile track horse, so it wasn't that surprising. He looked awesome tonight. So congratulations to Brenda on Bolt Power's victory. And then Procrastinator. I told James going, I said, could you go last trip with this horse? He's hung up to race on a half, or race tight 5/8. He's now on a 7/8. I think James might have skipped second trip with him. He said he was running out away from the poles down the lane. He gave me a litany of reasons why. No screen. He's done this whole life. Make the front and kind of go to sleep late in the stretch. He's getting better. He's the same horse that I remember him as being. Just faster, right? First over. How tough is this little horse? Like James said, well, I mean, how good is he, Anthony? He's made 4,010 starts. I said, he's learning. A number of those starts were in situations where he couldn't excel, right? Fairs, or on a small track at Northfield Park. It's not fair to that horse. It's a big, big animal. First over, second and 53 and 1. And he can say, well, he did the moonwalk or got a little. He was green. That's what he is. He's a green horse. He made front with an open bridle and kind of waited. One horse got up alongside, challenged him, went by, and he came back on to be second. That will dissipate with time. This horse is a competitor. So I told him, he said, well, he's really good. He said, I really was surprised. I didn't think he'd be that good. So James Horse shows 52-4 on his card. I know you think that every track but Mohawk is fast, but Mohawk is fast also. So a good mile from him. I wasn't surprised at all. Not in any part of it. Even when he kind of got a little green on the front halfway down the lane. He's done that before. He'll learn to pace past them down the lane. This horse is very green and learning how to be a good horse. And Mohawk is probably the right place for him to be for a little while. So very, very impressed what I saw from Procrastinator tonight. All indications point to him becoming a nice horse. He's nowhere near strong enough, tight enough, smart enough. He is going to mature into a much faster, much better horse. So very happy with everybody. A little disappointed with Pete. We'll get Pete squared away next week. I know a lot of people are a little disappointed and upset that she's making breaks, but keep in mind, these are young trotters. They will make breaks from time to time. Last year, she didn't show any breaks, but we were very protective of her at the start of the year. I think we'll have to be a little more conservative with her moving forward. She will qualify next week, and we'll get her raced next Wednesday, I believe, next Tuesday. Our newest horse, who was once our horse before, First Glance, makes his start, trying to get him a couple little tune-ups at Northfield Park. He's in to go at Northfield on Tuesday. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jason has, I'm going to go over Wednesday, Jason has Slim Jimmy, Frosty Trouble picked, and we were thinking of racing 1-2 Skip a Few in the maiden, but probably makes more sense to put her back in where she was today. She looked awesome. So with that, it's a beautiful weather here where Amy and I are. Going to be here till Tuesday, but I am watching very, very closely. Still a lot going on tomorrow, the next day. Day after that, I'll be back on Tuesday. I'll be in Northfield on Wednesday. I don't know if I'll make it down to Scioto or not on Thursday. It seems like Tony Hall's got a pretty good handle on things. And Friday we get some horses to qualify. So the unofficial start to summer has already begun. A lot of work to be done. So I'll talk to you all very, very soon. I hope you guys had a better day today. Tough day yesterday, but hopefully you had a better day today. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.